Welcome back, heroes. Zeus here. If you think Aiden is just another healer, you're already playing him wrong. Today we're exposing the critical mistakes players keep repeating with Aiden, and by the end of this video, you'll see why understanding his mechanics matters more than copying any team. Mistake number 1, treating Aiden as a full team healer. One of the most common mistakes players make with Aiden is treating him like a traditional healer who can fully sustain the entire team on his own. This misunderstanding comes from the fact that Aiden does heal continuously, but the key is who actually receives that healing. Aiden heals himself every 2 seconds from the very start of the battle. This self-healing becomes even stronger when his health drops below 30%, where his regeneration doubles. Because of bonds of flame, this healing is not limited to Aiden alone. The bonded ally shares health with him, meaning that when Aiden heals himself, the bonded hero benefits as well. This makes Aiden and his bonded partner surprisingly durable over time. However, this is where the mistake happens. Players often assume that because Aiden and his bonded ally stay alive, the rest of the team will also be sustained. That is not how his kit works. Aiden's healing for the rest of the team comes only from fire waves, which are periodic and not reactive. If multiple allies take heavy burst damage at once, Aiden cannot instantly recover that lost health. This is why relying only on Aiden as your main healer often fails in fast or burst heavy fights. Aiden excels at self-sustain and bonded survival, not emergency team recovery. He slows damage, spreads it, and buys time, but he does not replace a true team healer. The correct way to use Aiden is to understand that he stabilizes specific heroes, not the entire lineup. When players expect more than that, they lose fights that look safe on paper but collapse in practice. Mistake number 2, assuming every hero benefits from bonding with Aiden. Another major mistake players make with Aiden is assuming that bonding is always beneficial. Bonds of flame is powerful, but not every hero gains value from sharing health with Aiden. In some cases, the bond actively makes the team worse. A clear example is Aurora. Aurora's entire kit revolves around dodging attacks to gain energy, which allows her to use her ultimate more often. Her ultimate activates her artifact, increasing dodge for the entire team. This is the core reason Aurora works. Without Aiden, Aurora commonly sits around 1.2 million health. If she dodges a 100,000 damage attack, that avoided damage represents roughly 8.3% of her health pool, resulting in strong energy gain. When Aurora is bonded with Aiden, her shared health can jump to around 1.8 million. Now, dodging the same 100,000 damage attack represents only 5.5% of her health pool. The result is significantly less energy gained per dodge, slower ultimate usage, and weaker artifact uptime. In this case, bonding Aurora with Aiden directly works against her core mechanic. Rufus is another hero that does not benefit from bonding with Aiden. Rufus cannot be killed by magic or pure damage, that is his defining strength. However, when Rufus is bonded with Aiden, shared health becomes a liability. If Aiden is killed by magic damage in the backline, Rufus dies with him, completely bypassing Rufus's main defensive advantage. Ishmael is a situational case. When Ishmael plays without a tank in the front line, Aiden can greatly improve his survivability. However, this comes with risk. If the enemy focuses Aiden in the backline, both Aiden and Ishmael can die together. Ishmael can dodge both physical and magic attacks, but shared health still exposes him to indirect deaths. The key takeaway is simple: bonding is not automatically good. Aiden works best with heroes that benefit from shared survivability, not heroes whose mechanics depend on independent health pools or special damage rules. Understanding this distinction prevents many avoidable losses. Mistake number 3, underestimating Aiden's damage potential. A very common mistake with Aiden is treating him as a pure healer and completely ignoring his damage output. While Aiden is primarily a support hero, his kit contains multiple sources of magic damage and pure damage, and when those are properly supported, the numbers can become surprisingly high. Aiden's damage does not come from a single burst skill. Instead, it comes from constant magic damage over time, sparks, explosions tied to his shields, and fire effects that scale with magic attack. On their own, these numbers look modest. This is why many players dismiss his damage entirely. The mistake is failing to consider how well Aiden scales with magic support. When Aiden is placed in a team that boosts magic attack and magic penetration, his damage profile changes completely. With support from Nebula, and magic penetration amplification from Polaris, Aiden's magic damage starts bypassing defenses much more efficiently. In one controlled test, with the rest of the team focused purely on healing, armor, and survivability, Aiden alone dealt 5.2 million damage over a 2-minute fight. That level of damage is not typical for a support hero. In fact, among healers, only Zeus and Celeste are capable of reaching similar damage numbers under the right conditions. This does not mean Aiden should be used as a main damage dealer, that would be another mistake. But it does mean his damage should not be ignored when building teams. Underestimating Aiden's damage leads to inefficient team construction. Players often overload healing or defense while missing the opportunity to turn Aiden into a meaningful secondary damage source. When properly supported, Aiden contributes both sustain and pressure, forcing longer fights to tilt in your favor. The correct mindset is simple: Aiden is a healer first, but a passive damage dealer second. Ignoring that second role means leaving a lot of value on the table. So here's the real takeaway. Aiden is not a plug-and-play healer. He doesn't carry entire teams on his own, bonding isn't automatically good, and his damage should never be underestimated. When you understand who truly benefits from the bond, when extra healing is required, and how much pressure Aiden can apply over time, he stops being a risky support and starts becoming a reliable win condition. Now I want to hear from you. Where has Aiden surprised you, by carrying harder than expected, or by failing when you thought the fight was safe? Drop your experience in the comments, because real battles are what shape the next strategies. If this breakdown helped you, support the channel by liking the video, subscribing, and turning on notifications, so you don't miss what's coming next. Play smart, build with purpose, and remember, in Hero Wars, understanding the hero will always beat copying the team.